So hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since so many thoughts going on right now. First of all, I got a new desktop, I got a new computer with a new webcam. I feel like everything's brighter and more HD. It's not necessarily a good thing, not everything needs to be 4K Ultra HD, zoom in on the open pores that wave at you. But I'm really happy with the quality of this. I think it's an upgrade, that's for sure. But I'm not used to it, you know what I mean? It's a new desktop. I'm still working everything out. I still keep looking up at my old webcam and where that is, thinking that's where I should be looking, but it's not, because this is where I should be looking. But yeah, it's been a while since I did like a sit down chat video like this with you guys. I used to do these once a week and then I just stopped. I don't know, things have been really crazy with Patreon and YouTube as well, I suppose. More so Patreon, because there's a lot of content going up there and it eats up all of my time, all day, every day is either recording or editing. But yeah, I thought it'd be fun to sit down and do a chat, talk to you guys face to face or face to screen or screen to face, whatever way you want to put it. So I posted, hang on, we'll get it up. I posted a story on Instagram where I said that I was going doing a Q&A if you guys want to ask me some questions, so we can just get chatting a little bit. Because I haven't checked in with you guys in a while, so. And I feel like now is the good time because The Last of Us has ended. We're just about to start up the Walking Dead universe again with the Walking Dead, Dead City, the Daryl Dixon show, Fear the Walking Dead. There's a whole bunch of stuff starting up. Also, yeah, look at this. Look at that for a screen case. It's my boys. It is Louis and Lestat. If you haven't seen Interview with the Vampire, the AMC show yet, you have to watch it. It is one of the best shows I have seen in years. Anyway, so I thought that I'd ask you guys to ask me stuff so we can get chatting, have a good old talk. And first of all, thank you guys so much. Not one person pointed out the typo. I appreciate that. So I threw out the question, going to be going a Q&A video soon, so Amy your cues. Alrighty, so Recasted 2 said, what are your top 3 greatest songs? This is one of my Everests to answer because I love music. You guys know I love music. Most of my tattoos are music related. All of my money goes on concerts or fucking band merch. So it kind of changes from time to time. I guess it depends on what vibe you're in, what mood you're in. I always say that my all-time favourite song is Dancing in the Moonlight by Thin Lizzy. No matter what mood I'm in, no matter what is going on, that song just makes me feel alive. I feel like I could run up a mountain and backflip down safely. I don't recommend that, but I love that song. I think it is one of the funkiest songs ever written. Close second then would probably be The Night We Met by Lord Huron. Now that is a complete vibe change, I'm aware. Lord Huron is one of my favourite artists. Absolutely adore. Oh my god, that song is it's a feeling, it's an atmosphere in itself, So I would also say that's number 2. But then again, like if you're in a good mood and you just listened to Dancing in the Moonlight by Thin Lizzy and then you're changing to The Night We Met, it's quite a gear shift. Well, nothing about me makes sense all that much anyway, so. And my third one, damn, I'm so out of touch with myself, I can't even answer that question. I have got to go through my playlists. I'm like, phone, please tell me, what do you know about me? Alright, so it's probably a toss-up between Cowboy Like Me by Taylor Swift and 13 Beaches by Lana Del Rey. That is just, apart from Dancing in the Moonlight, that's a very depressing top 3, I know. They're all very slow songs, very deep in your feeling songs. But that's just the kind of music I gravitate towards. Usually I like songs that you can just put on your headphones, lie down and listen to and just be calm. That being said, my favourite type of music is rock music. So again, look, I never said I made sense, okay? Although I have really been loving Riley Ritchie's music recently. I've gone back into like old school rock. I've gone super big into Motorhead again. I've gone back into the older, heavier shit like Styx, Blue Oyster Cult, stuff like that. But yeah, those are my top 3. I think I listed 5, did I? So like I said, it's kind of a dull top 3. So before we leave this, I'm gonna quickly skim through my bangers playlist. This is just more up-tempo happy shit because sometimes you need to just distract yourself. So here there's stuff like Maniac by Conan Gray, Fuck About It by Waterparks, Anti-Hero by Taylor Swift, because my god, Midnights has taken over my life. My favourite Taylor Swift album of all time is Evermore, always will be, forever and ever, but I have to say Midnights is something special as well. I'm Not a Woman, I'm a God by Halsey, Take the Stairs by Coin, a bazillion and one 5 Seconds of Summer songs, because they're probably my favourite band and my favourite live act to go see live. So stuff like Easy For You To Say, Babylon, No Shame, Lonely Heart, Bloodhound, You Don't Go To Parties, all 5 sauce. Got some Elvis mixed in there because, you know, you're listening to Taylor Swift and 5 Seconds of Summer. Naturally, the logical place to go next is Elvis. Some 1975, some Biffy Clyro, Miley Cyrus. Oh yeah, Hallucinogenics by Matt Mason and Lana Del Rey is a song I'm really loving lately as well. I Ain't Worried by One Republic. That song is just happiness in your ears. I'm going to stop with this question now because I'm just going to keep going. But music is something that once you get me talking about, my God, I will just keep going forever. Oh yeah, 20 Long Years by Lord Huron is in there as well. Oh. Babe, I'm going to leave you, Led Zeppelin. Shut the fuck up! Next question. Thank you so much for your question. So next up is, what's your thoughts on the last episode of The Walking Dead? So now that we've had some time to kind of sit with it, watch it again, rewatch it, I have done a rewatch or a partial rewatch of the final season of The Walking Dead. I think I kind of stand where I did back when I first viewed it. It hasn't soured over time. I haven't changed my opinion all that much. I think it was a strong ending. I think it was a smart ending. They avoided the Game of Thrones outroar and outrage. They could, I mean, back in the day when I used to talk about The Walking Dead and how I wanted to see it end, way before the ending was in sight or announced, I always said that I wanted it to go one of two ways. I wanted it to just be clean and cohesive and something that makes sense. And on the flip side, I also said that I wanted to see everyone die. So we didn't get that. But like, as a long-time viewer and someone who adores this show, like, if they had killed everyone off, I would have been so pissed off. I would not have been happy. I would have bitched and ranted about it, and I'd have been like, listen, my opinion on stuff like that is also, we should play a fun game this video, take a shot every time I fix this fucking shirt, because it's so irritating. My viewpoint is very much, I'm not a writer, you know, I'm not a screenwriter, I'm not a story writer. I don't know what's best. I only know what I like and what I would like to see. So even if I don't agree with something, I'm always trying to be respectful, because I can't imagine working on a project or a show or being a part of something and having somebody shit all over it, having some person on the internet think they know more about you and just go off. I don't want to be that person, you know? But at the same time, everyone's totally entitled to their own opinion and to express it. I think it was a good ending. I'm happy with it. I think it's smart that we did get a major character death, so we did get Rosita dying. We got all of the other storylines tied up. We got to see where everybody ended up. We got to see how they ended up, and then with the other characters like Daryl, Negan, Maggie, Michonne and Rick, we also got to find out how they're transitioning into their own shows. You know what I'm saying? Well, actually, that's not really true, because with Daryl we didn't. Yeah, okay. So Daryl's just going to end up in France. I still don't know how, in the love of God, they're gonna... That's probably going to be a plot twist that we're just going to have to ignore. You know, it's going to be like, oh, Daryl's in France now, deal with it. Because I don't know how the hell that guy is going to make it across that big old ocean. But I'm happy with it. I mean, I even liked to the extent that I got the last words... Can I even move this? I got the last words from the show tattooed. So I was pretty happy with it. We're the Ones Who Live was... I think it was a lovely way to end the show, and I just, yeah. The next question is, when can you come to Florida? Man, if I could, trust me, I'd be heading there next fucking week. Alright, it is currently gale force winds outside my window. Yeah, we got a surprise attack of rain and hailstorms. I don't know how long that's supposed to last for, but we have reverted back into winter for some reason. Mid-fucking April, I have just packed away all of my winter clothes, and the sky went, you know what, fuck you in particular. So I've been rattling cold for the last few days because all of my jackets and hoodies are gone. I've put them away for next year. But I do want to get back to the States. I want to go back to LA because I fucking loved LA. I'd like to get back to New York at some point as well. I want to travel. My God, I just want to go. I'm going to try and make it a point as well to go to some more conventions over the upcoming year. I just did London Comic-Con, I think it was called. That was fun. I really liked that a lot. I liked being in London. I liked the experience of getting on a plane. That was exciting. I used to travel an awful lot when I was younger, and then everything kind of slowed down for a while, and then the whole world just stopped for like 2-3 years. So, yeah, I do want to travel. I want to start planning conventions. I'm thinking about going to Dublin Comic-Con, this summer. I used to go every single year, and then I missed a year or two. So I think I'm going to try and get to that again this year. But that being said, Dublin is not Florida, is it? All of my favourite artists are also announcing tours, and none of them motherfuckers are coming to Dublin. There is nothing that sets my blood boiling faster or harder than when you see World Tour, and then you're like, is it though? You know? And then when they come over our side of the world, it's like London, Birmingham, Glasgow, and then they fuck off. That's not a world tour, bestie, is it? Look. But yeah, some of my favourite acts and artists are going on tour this year and next year, and so far there's no goddamn stop in Ireland, so I'm gonna have to venture out into the world and try and get to a show somewhere elsewhere. So who knows? Who knows, man? Maybe Florida. I will say I don't have any active plans yet for there, but I do plan on getting back to LA soon. Next question is, are you a fan of Red Dwarf? What is that? Is that a show? It's a sitcom. I have never seen it. That's rare. A show that I've never seen. I might check that out. Next question is, any plans for a US tour road trip anytime soon? Oh my god. I love that. I love that because I know why you asked that. You asked that because of, I talk about that a lot on live streams. I do 2 or 3 live streams a month over on Patreon, and I'm always talking about my plans and stuff that's coming up and shit like that. And I have mentioned before, it has been my dream since I was like 13 or 14. Since I started watching Supernatural, it's been my dream to do a road trip of the States of America. I want to go to all the different filming locations. I want to go to all the different places that it was either shown on the show or that was supposed to be on the show. There's so many locations that you can go see, and obviously, like, I've been to some places in America before, so there's places that I'd like to visit that I haven't seen yet there, but specifically I would be doing it to follow the Supernatural road trip. Again, that's something that's still on the bucket list that I haven't made steps towards making happen yet. I'd love to get to where The Walking Dead was filmed as well. Now, I know they took down and they dismantled a lot of the sets, but you can still go to the general vicinity that it was filmed in, and I could go sit down in the forest and have a good cry to myself. Bring a bottle of gin with me, pour one out for The Walking Dead. But yeah, the road trip is not anytime soon, I don't think. Considering I can't drive, I never learned how to drive because I live in a city and it was never important, I guess. Doing a road trip without a car or a license could prove a tad bit tricky. That being said, I do have full faith in myself that I could pull that shit off. Might take me a bit longer. Might be a bit sweatier, but I do not mind walking. Next question is, can you go through your tattoos? Sorry if you have before, I love them. Thank you so much. I have way too many to go through. I think I did a tattoo video years ago, right? And since then, I have gotten triple the amount that I had at the time. At the time, I had like 6 tattoos. And I was like, oh my god, I've got so many tattoos, I should do a video on that. My most recents were, I got the forget-me-nots last June on my birthday. That's a big fucking lie. No, I didn't. I got them 2 years ago on my birthday. Time is moving at warp speed. But yeah, I got them 2 years ago. I think most if not all of my hand tattoos are new. That's also not true. I don't even know myself. Nontimbomala and You Changed Me are both Supernatural quotes. Nontimbomala is on the Colt, which is a weapon in Supernatural, and You Changed Me is one of Castiel's last ever lines, and it made me cry like a bitch. And to this day it still does. We got a little bee going on over here because I love bees. When The Walking Dead ended, of course, I have a whole half a sleeve dedicated to The Walking Dead. Now... Ah, God, I fucked it up. I fucked it up. I was going to have a half sleeve starting from here, right? Starting from this guy. This is Jeffrey Dean Morgan's signature. I got that done at a convention one of the years I met him. This is Charlie Adlard's drawing. He drew it in front of me, again, at a convention while I met him. So the plan was, it was going to be from here up, I was going to do all Walking Dead. And I do all the tattoos on my upper arm. All of these ones are all, you can't see them, but they're all Walking Dead. But then I just completely forgot what I was fucking doing. And I fucked off, and I got a Taylor Swift tattoo in the middle of my Walking Dead arm. That's from a song called Mirror Ball by Taylor Swift. It's one of my favourite songs. I got a huge ass handprint because Supernatural, like I just said many times, is one of my favourite shows. And if you love Supernatural, you'll know the Castiel handprint. So I had to get that done. How did I even get there? I don't remember. Anyway, yeah. So when The Walking Dead ended, I wanted something in your face that you can't wonder, what is that? Like, what does that mean? It's The Walking Dead. It's like, you know, if I'm sitting, you can see it. It's always one of my most visible ones. That show is so important to me. It's a huge cornerstone of, I don't know, me and everything good that's happened over the last few years. I mean, you know, if it wasn't for the show, I would have never started my channel. I would have never met the amazing people that I know now. I wouldn't be doing what I do as a job. And outside of that, it is a show that I just love. It's like a warm, comforting hug, even though people get killed and eaten and stabbed in every goddamn episode. It's a very strange show to designate as your comfort show, but you don't pick that kind of thing, do you? It picks you. So yeah, I got that right there. I was thinking about getting SPN for Supernatural to match it on the other side of my hand, because none of my tattoos have balance or symmetry. They're all a little bit off. They're all a bit, you know, not matching and odd. A bit like myself. But when I started getting my hands done, they were the one thing I wanted to match. I wanted balance and symmetry to them. So, the two sentences on the back of the hands, the cross, again, self-explanatory. The cross and the B, all balanced, all nice. And then the fingers. The fingers are all really self-explanatory as well. This hand is all of my family. Everything on this hand represents something got to do with my family, or, you know, Ireland. This hand then is all band related. So you have my favourite bands from throughout the years. One thing I will say about hand tattoos is they fade like a motherfucker. I've already got these done twice and I need to get them touched up again. How have I been talking for 21 minutes and 54 seconds? So these are all band related. So that's the 5 Seconds of Summer old symbol, their old tally. Bring Me the Horizon, 30 Seconds to Mars, Linkin Park, and Panic at the Disco. What was the question? But yeah, those are just some of my tattoos because, like I said, I have way too many. I have way too many to get into and go through. I've also started getting my legs done as well, so maybe someday I'll do an updated tattoo video. That could be fun. That would be a nightmare. That would end up being like 6 hours long. I can never tell when to shut up, which is something that I am reminded quite often. Not as often as I used to be, but the comment section. Yeah, it always bothers me when I get comments like that saying you talk too much or be quiet or you swear too much. That one is the one that really grinds my gears and just irritates the tits off me, because I never see a guy be told you swear too much, stop swearing. But I get it all the time and I'm like, motherfucker, if you don't like it, there's the cunting door. Goodbye. I also forgot where I was going with that point. Next question. Favorite The Walking Dead season? Oh, I would say probably, I always say the prison arc. That was always like my safety net answer. That was just always the one that I would go for, because it's true. I love the prison arc. I love the setting. I love the storylines. I love how the tone of the show really changes and kicks up a gear during that story arc. Yeah, so I'd say maybe the storyline arc, or God give me patience with myself this day. So I'd say the prison arc or the Saviors arc. I loved season 6 and 7. I don't know, that's a controversial opinion. Not everybody liked the Saviors. The introduction of Negan to me was absolutely mind-blowing, and it cemented this show as my favourite thing in the world. So those two storylines, because they run over multiple seasons. So the prison storyline and the Saviors storyline. Next question is, we got a few from you. So first of all, would you watch season 12 of The Walking Dead? I would watch season 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, right up to season 100. I don't care if Daryl Dixon's in his 90s, dragging his ass through the forest with that goddamn crossbow. I would still watch. I would still be invested. My ass would be seated in this seat and I would be sold. I do like that they called it when they did with the show. I think they could feel that it was coming to like a natural end, that the hype and the buzz was slowing and dying down a bit. So I do like that they called it when they did. And then by giving the spin-offs to certain characters, it's a way of, if you love Negan, if you love Maggie, if you love Daryl, if you love Rick and Michonne, you can jump over to their shows. So it's like, it's not really like it's ending. I mean, if we didn't have the spin-offs, I would have been fucking inconsolable when the show ended. But in a way, it didn't really feel like an end. So I would have kept going with that show forever. But that's the kind of person I am. If I love a show, I take the good with the bad. I'm not one of these, you know, after 4 or 5 seasons with a show, I get bored and I'm like, oh my God, just drop it. Stop beating a dead horse. I'm like, no. If there's a story to tell and there's content to be made, let them do their thing. And if you don't like it, just don't watch it. But I would have gone to the bitter fucking end with that show. I did go to the bitter end with that show. But it's not over. Because we still have the spin-offs. It's okay. Next question. Do you know how to make shepherd's pie? I do not. Okay? When I tell you I am a disaster in the kitchen, I know people say that to be dramatic or to be funny. Listen, I am an absolute fucking nightmare in the kitchen. I hurt myself and others. I burnt my fucking arm today making something that I've made 100 times. I don't know if there's a mark or not. I don't think there is. But last week I stuck my fucking hand to the oven. This week I stuck my goddamn arm into the oven. I stuck it to, the tray. You're trying to pick up the tray with your stupid oven mitt that's too big. So it's sliding around the place. You nearly drop the tray. And then you go to grab it with your other hand and you remember, no, that's hot. So instead you grab it with your arm and you stick the tray onto your arm and you're like, that was supposed to be better? I'm very basic in the kitchen. I cook the most basic things. I'm not that big on being adventurous with food. I stick to what I know. I stick in the realm of what I know I can eat that won't make me feel like I want to die because I'm a celiac. I cannot eat wheat of any sort. No gluten, wheat, nothing like that. I'm dairy free as well, which is not fucking difficult. It's really not hard at all. There's fantastic alternatives out there to dairy products. But trying to find something that I can eat that is nice and that ticks the boxes of being in the food wheel of shit I can eat is kind of difficult. So when I do find things, I'm like, cool, I'll just eat them every day for the rest of my life. Like potato waffles. They are my absolute fucking vibe. I have eaten potato waffles every day for dinner for the last 5 years. I shit you not. But yeah, I'm not adventurous in the kitchen. I do want to learn how to bake though. That was on my bucket list for this year. I have not attempted it. And to be honest with you, it's the 12th of April and I have just remembered today that was on a list of things I wanted to do this year. So next question is, if you could drop into any media world as you are now, which world and why? Oh God. Well, the first response in my head is Supernatural. But I'm an absolute little bitch. A ghost would come at me and I'd okay, it's time for death. I'd have a heart attack and I would just die. So maybe not. But if you go into the supernatural universe, you get to be with Sam and Dean and Cass. That was always my ultimate setting. If you could transport me anywhere in any show or movie, it would be into the bunker with Sam, Cass, Dean and Jack. That's all I wanted for life for the longest time, and I gotta say, it's still up there. It's still high on the list. Walking Dead universe, I used to joke and say I'd die a week into the apocalypse. But yeah, I have learned about myself through past experiences. I am a scrappy bitch, and I have an incredible will to persevere. So maybe I would last a little bit longer in the Walking Dead universe. And I got a lot of rage in my body too. I may be fucking small, but I'm mighty. Yeah. So I think on a bad day in the apocalypse, you could just go out and start just swinging at walkers' heads. It's like a Sunday morning, you've had a stressful week, and the lawn is overrun with zombies. Go clean them out. It could be therapeutic. But I also am antisocial, and in any apocalypse shows, they're all about making groups, making friends and teaming up, and I'd be like, no. I would be more of the Bill and Frank type of person. I would just retreat by myself and have my little unit, have my little house with my people, and I'd be happy as a pig in shit. Speaking of Bill and Frank, oh my God, I've started rewatching The Last of Us recently. Whoa. I love that show. It just makes me light up. It feels... Listen, and I started doing reactions for it, right? And I'm very excited about it and I love it. Some people were leaving comments saying oh, is this your new Walking Dead? Is this yet? No, it's not my new anything, okay? The Walking Dead is my baby. But I love this and it's so nice to be excited over a show again. And this show has such incredible actors, writers, cast and crew behind it. The creative team and the brains that have come together to create this is just so special. It feels like lightning in a bottle, So I'm so excited to see where it goes and what they do with it, and I am just loving it. And I've restarted it recently, and it just makes me feel good. Now, again, I'm aware it is not the type of show that you should be going to when you need to be comforted. But much like The Walking Dead, I don't know if is there wiring that's just mixed up in my brain or something. But it just makes me feel so warm and fuzzy, and I just love it so much. And I cannot remember how we got onto this topic. I think I'd survive in The Last of Us. No, I lost all confidence in myself there. I wouldn't. I would not last in The Last of Us universe. I would die in seconds. The last question, or the most recent question that I got as a filming this, oh my God, we've been going for half an hour, is, hello fellow Limerick person, do you think you'll ever react to a show like Heartstopper or Love Victor? First of all, I get so excited when I meet another person from Limerick, so hey, how you doing? And yeah, Heartstopper has been on my list for a while. The way I do things over on Patreon is that's where all of my content goes, right? So if there's 2 uploads a day, I think, which is 2 shows a day. And then I also fuck around with there's movie reactions and there's live streams and stuff. But so there's long running shows. So I'm doing reactions for the X-Files, Buffy. I'm coming to an end with Buffy, I think, and I started from the very beginning. But there's shows like that, like X-Files, Buffy, Doctor Who, that I've started from the very beginning that will be going on for a while because there's a lot of episodes. But then there's shows that I swap in and out, like I did reactions, obviously, for the extended reactions for The Mandalorian. I did extended reactions for The Last of Us, or the extended cuts went up on Patreon. But like shows like Cobra Kai, Outer Banks. I've started Gotham Knights recently as well, and I've also gotten back into Riverdale. The new season is airing, and I'm like, yeah. So we started up Riverdale reactions, Yellow Jacket reactions. So with shows like that, with new shows, once I finish reactions for them, then that slot I'll put in a new show. You know, so there's always shows coming in and coming out. But I have wanted to watch Heartstopper because I have heard so fucking much about that show, and I have seen such great things about that show. So probably, yeah. So yeah, Heartstopper has been on my list for a while. It's just a case of getting time to get around to these shows is what's most difficult. You know, trying to wait for a slot to become free that I can start reactions. But that's it for this video, you guys. I just thought it would be fun to sit and chat a little bit more informal. Not that reaction videos are formal. It's not like I'm sitting there in a fucking business suit taking notes. But like, I love these type of videos, these chat videos, especially when they're interactive and when I can directly talk to people, you know. So this was a spur of the moment kind of thing. I did post it on Instagram like 10 hours ago to send me questions. So if you're not following me over there, the link to my Twitter, my Instagram, my Patreon, everything that you need to find me is down below. I'm pretty active on Instagram, so that's probably the best place to catch me. But yeah, that's it anyway, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to those of you who threw in questions. I appreciate you. I have no idea when I'm posting this. As I'm recording it, it's Wednesday, April 12th. God knows when it's going up. I'm having a lot of fun with the Mandalorian reactions. I think there's something. And like, I'm not great with the Star Wars universe, and I've always been open and upfront about that. I enjoy it. I just don't understand a lot of what happens. And a lot of you guys have been super kind and really fucking sweet as to filling me in on things that confuse me and helping me along. There's some people that aren't as nice and that are just kind of taking stabs at me like, oh, don't you know? And then they launch into some big speech and I'm like, I didn't know. That's why I asked. But I've had a lot of fun with that. I've had a lot of fun with Mando. And like I said at the start, can't wait for all the Walking Dead universe shows to return. So yeah, it's going to be busy enough here on YouTube. And I'm reminding you guys, if you haven't seen the interview that I got to do with Cynthia Summers, who is the costume designer for The Last of Us, the link to that will be in the description down below. It's well worth checking out. She's such a fascinating and sweet lady. I do hope to get to do more videos like that in the future. It's just so difficult to land things like that. But I had a lot of fun and an awful lot of fun talking to her. And who knows what the future holds. My motto is never say never, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. It's like, hey, never say never. And also, never say never. But that's it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging and chatting and listening to me. I hope you enjoyed this, whatever this was. And I will talk to you all soon.